Greetings, charming, dramatic, social Libra. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. My name is Eliane Nicole, and I am an astrologer and a tarot card reader. And although I have been reading the cards and the planets for many, many years, I'm new to YouTube, and this is my first time sharing my gift on this medium, so I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled to explore and try and experiment, and I'm eager to get your feedback, and I hope that you get something from this reading. It really is a joy to be able to do this. So this is going to be the forecast for November 2018 for Libras, and you can get something from this even if you're a Libra rising or a Libra moon. I encourage people to watch your sun, moon, and rising. And if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising are, you should contact me for a reading. We can do your birth chart and I can tell you where all of your planets are. But for now, we're going to do a general layout for Libra, November 2018. So, your significator is the King of Rods. You're covered by the Two of Cups reversed, crossed by the Fool. The basis is the Nine of Cups reversed. What's leaving is the Hanged Man reversed. What could come into being is the Eight of Pentacles. What will come into being is Judgment reversed. Fears or insecurities are the Tower reversed. Others see you as the Queen of Swords reversed. Your positive feelings are about the Four of Cups, and the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. So, your major arcana this month, Libra, are the Fool, the Hanged Man, Judgment, the Tower, and the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a lot going on for you spiritually and in the outer realm. Your significator is the King of Rods. For male Libras, I would say that you go into November very focused on your career. You look more focused on work than love. So that would be my interpretation for male Libras. They're going and maybe even starting a new project with work, or maybe even starting on a new foot after leaving a relationship. That, if they're not leaving a relationship for, married Libra men, it might just be a lover's quarrel, and then maybe you want to take a trip or something to get some time to yourself. For Libra women, it looks like there's a man in your life, a close man in your life who you maybe are not getting along with as we enter November. Your love, maybe you guys aren't seeing eye to eye. There may be a lover's quarrel. And what you're crossed by in this cycle, Libra, is to start new, the beginning of a new journey. And that's your karmic work in this cycle, to be able to start new. So maybe that means letting go of the past. Maybe that means having to be brave and take a leap of faith. But your karmic work is there in beginning on this journey. Maybe it means having to be the fool and to be a novice at something. But that's your karmic work in November. The foundation of this month has to do with delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is a theme for Libra in November, and there are delays in wishes. But Libra, inherent in this card is that your wish is going to come true. That's what I love about the Nine of Cups reversed. Even though the news is that there's a delay in your wish, the good news is the wish is on the table. It's coming. It's just delayed. What's leaving is the Hanged Man reverse, and that could be, I think, being tense, looking at life through the rear view mirror. That's leaving. What could come into being is work. Good money cards, good work cards for Libra in November. What will come into being is Judgment reversed. So this will mean different things for different Libras. For some Libras, this will mean the cancellation of a trip, possibly. For some Libras, if you're involved in any kind of legal battle, it could be that the judgment is not in your favor. For some Libras, it'll mean that you are being judgmental about something. For some Libras, it will mean that you are exercising poor judgment. For other Libras, it means that others are being judgmental towards you. So you get the picture. It's around that judgment, and it being reversed, there's a wobble around the judgment. So that's what's going in the future. Fears or insecurities for Libra, it's the Tower reversed. So the Tower reversed has to do with Libra. It looks like you have a fear or insecurity regarding getting over some past traumas in your life, or a past breakdown of some structure in your life. And that's there. Others see you as the Queen of Swords reversed. So for Libra men, this means that there is a woman in your life who maybe she has something that she wants to tell you that she feels unable to tell you. She feels perhaps unable to communicate with you, or else something like around that with a woman in your life. For Libra women, it's similar, but for Libra women, it's you. And, well, no, yes, people are seeing you as possibly as having a sharp tongue, possibly as being argumentative, possibly as withholding information, possibly being deceptive. It will be manifesting different ways for different Libras. That's why it's always, you know, these are general readings, and so I have to cover the gamut. When I'm doing one-on-one readings, it's, you know, we can get more specific with your own life. So call me for a tarot reading this month, Libra. Positive feelings about this November cycle. You're feeling positive about you're positive about the opportunities. You're kind of in a you're kind of achieving this kind of Buddhist state towards the end of this month, Libra, where you're kind of in this, you know, detached mode and feeling really positive about it. It's not like you're bored. It's not like, but it's just like you are, you know, you have everything you need. You're content, and you are detached, you know, not overly thrilled about anything, but not depressed either. That's kind of where you're heading towards, that's around the end of the month, and you feel good about this. And the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. So, yeah. Again, I feel like by the end of November, Libra's really in the zone of like between the Four of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. You're just like, riding the waves of life, come what may, the cycle of life, the ups, the downs. You're in a pretty even, tempered space with it. And so, yeah, that's where we leave you at the end of November, Libra. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the planetary alignments. And again, I just want to say here that the best thing to do is to contact me, have me do your natal chart, and I can give you a specific reading that really applies very specifically to you. This reading is great for general information, but I can really hit the nail on the head when we work together one-on-one. And I don't want to get into all the specifics of the planetary alignments. I will focus on the fact that November 6th is a big date because there's a lot going on in the sky. Uranus is square, Uranus and Taurus is square the true node in Leo retrograde. The true node then enters Cancer. On November 6th, also Uranus retrograde enters Aries. So there are two planetary ingresses happening, and then there's two Uranus aspects happening. So it's a time of shakeups, and it's a time of switching gears in purpose. And so if you'd like to know where those aspects are traveling in your chart, and how they will be affecting you, contact me for a transit reading. And November 7th is also an important day. Jupiter is trine the true node, which is a very beautiful aspect. It is squaring, Cancer is where the true node is, which will be squaring late degree Libras. Late degree Libras square will feel a tension or a frustration by this aspect, but that tension and frustration is leading to expansion expansion and education and understanding, higher understanding in terms of purpose. So again, this is a really important aspect. A lot is going on in the sky in November. I think it's a great time to get a reading. And the new moon in Scorpio is November 7th. And the Scorpio new moon is a very profound, deep, dark, mysterious, powerful new moon. It's one of the most powerful manifesting new moons of the year. And all new moons are good for planting intentions, for setting intentions, for planting the seeds that we want to grow. Just like in the physical world, when there's times of the year that are good for planting certain crops and planting certain trees and planting certain flowers in order for them to grow in certain seasons. So it goes spiritually with the new moons. And Scorpio new moon is a season for setting intentions around transformation. Anything that we want to transform in our lives, anything around us that we want to transform, anything within ourselves or about ourselves that we want to transform. Scorpio new moon is a very powerful new moon to set those intentions, to get clarity and to set those intentions. And it's also a great time to set intentions around rebirth, regeneration. Where do you want to reinvent yourself? Where do you want to reinvent, rebirth? It's also a very good new moon to plant intentions around research, around mysteries that you want to solve, around detective work. Scorpio rules all of that. The Scorpio new moon, aside from, which I didn't mention, November in general is the time of the year where you can really access the ancestors. And, you know, October 31st through November 2nd is the Day of the Dead, and that is when the veil is the thinnest between the non-physical realm and our realm, and it's the time where it's the easiest and most accessible to contact our ancestors and those that have passed to the other side. And it's a beautiful time of the year to burn candles and put out flowers and put their pictures and cook their favorite food and play their music and connect with them. And you can really access the 1st and the 2nd of November are powerful days for this, and the new moon of Scorpio, the 7th. And it's a good time to burn candles to help souls pass to the other side. It's a good time to burn candles to communicate with souls. It's a great time to get readings, to talk to and channel people who have passed. So I encourage you to do that if that's something that you've been thinking about, because that can be a very soul enriching experience at this time of the year. It can be very fulfilling. And moving forward, November 8th, Jupiter enters Sagittarius, where it will be for the next year. That will, depending on what degree of Libra your sun is in, at some point in that year, Sagittarius will be forming a very pleasant sextile with your sun, meaning there should be some good luck and grace. Jupiter in Sagittarius in general is great because Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius. Jupiter is the natural ruler of Sagittarius, and Jupiter brings benevolence and grace and expansion and higher truth and philosophy and religion and travel. And Jupiter is a wonderful planet, and so having Jupiter at home in Sagittarius for the next year is going to be a boost in optimism and faith for all of us, but it'll have some particularly pleasant spikes for Libra along the way. And so I encourage you to contact me to have your chart done, and we can actually get into the specifics of where and when that will be appearing in your life, so that you can just sop up all that great Jupiter goodness and be ready to harness it and, you know, just appreciate the moment to the fullest. And what else? November 15th, Mars enters Pisces. Fiery Mars being in watery Pisces, Mars slows down. It's the end of the year. Around this time, collectively, people's focus is going to be shifting from, you know, work, achieve, you know, and all those kinds of traditional kind of Mars competitive testosterone type goals to more Piscean type goals around creativity and spirituality and service to others and emotional goals and things of that nature. So that Mars will be in Pisces from November 15th to December 31st, and it's a great time to pursue creative goals. There's a lot of energy to work towards your creative goals supported by Mars and Pisces. So that's happening. And then November 16th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. So that will be tickling Libras for sure. It's not directly in our sign, but because Sagittarius forms a sextile to Libra, there will be a period for each Libra. And again, this depends on what degree your sun is. The whole retrograde isn't going to be, you know, probably affecting you that greatly, but there will be a period. And we can find that out. If I do your chart, we can find out exactly what area of your life and what period of the retrograde. Mercury the trickster, he's a trickster and he likes to play tricks, you know, so we can find out, you know, and then you can kind of know before where he might show up. And what else? Oh yes, so great news, Libra. Venus goes direct in Libra November 16th. So that's really wonderful. That's romantic. Any romantic glitches that happened as a result of Venus retrograde should straighten out at this point. There could be new love possibly blooming, or at least a new fling possibly blooming for single Libras. For married Libras, it will mean if you and your mate were kind of reviewing things of the past and past issues that come up that you guys kind of had to resolve, that this is passing and you're, you know, kind of being, you know, heading towards romance again and remembering why you loved each other in the first place. And so Venus going direct on November 16th is going to lighten things up considerably for Libras and be very pleasant. And the after shadow doesn't, you know, it doesn't end until December, but at least, you know, things lighten up considerably, okay? And so, and then, you know, November 20th, there's a Neptune aspect that I would tell you about if we do a personal reading. It's a Pisces Cancer aspect, but because Cancer squares Libra, this is an aspect that will affect only late degree Libras, people who are in like the last 5 degrees of Libra. And November 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius. In general, the Sagittarius sun is a favorable time of the year for Libras. November 23rd is the full moon in Gemini. Gemini full moons are very complementary for Libra. Gemini is trine Libra. They're both air signs. It's a very harmonious energy flow. We feel natural and ourselves under the Gemini moon. We don't feel overly emotional. We feel detached and light. We feel very expressive. We may want to think about our emotions and talk about our emotions, but we're not all deep in our feelings so much. And we may have heightened emotions under the Gemini moon. We may be restless. We may feel particularly restless. There could be, you know, Gemini rules the nervous system. So the Gemini full moon is a great time to do things that are relaxing to the nervous system. And that applies for Libra too. And November 24th, Neptune goes direct in Pisces. That's an aspect that I would talk more to you about if I looked at your personal chart and I could see what house that's happening in and what personal planets it's aspecting for you. And November 28th, Jupiter is semi-square Pluto. Jupiter in Sagittarius is semi-square Pluto in Capricorn. That will be forming a square for Libras who are born anywhere from, you know, 15, maybe 15 to 25 degrees. I would even say 17 to 21 degrees Libra. You would feel this. It would be it's a very powerful transit. And so again, this YouTube reading is a taste because I want to introduce my style and how I read to people, but you're going to get the most out of astrology and tarot if you schedule a one-on-one reading with me and we work together personally for your planets and your cards and all that good stuff. So yeah, that is the Cliff Notes of the planetary overview. And oh my God, I did 25 minutes for Libra. Is it because it's my own sign? Libras, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for listening to me. Again, this is my first, stab at a YouTube tarot reading for Libra. Please subscribe to my channel. Please tell your friends to look for their sign. Most of the signs were much shorter than this. And I appreciate you listening, and tell a friend and keep coming back. I appreciate you. Goodbye.